Hello, YouTube fans. I'll probably do the other ones maybe on a later date, but we know Halloween's on its way, so I'll probably do the Halloween films next. But this one, why not? Why not? I'm even gonna offend this one. That being Friday the 13th part. I'm confused. They made that many. 8. So Friday the 13th part 8. So about that, I got a bit confused, but in all fairness, they did make a lot. And just like they did though with the one I'm sipped up, that being Friday the 13th part 7, they wanted to make something different. You know, after seeing Slasher and Sex Maniac teenagers, if you can buy them being Sweet 16, all getting massacred by a man with a hockey mask, after the bit in Tis Too Late, got a bit boring. So they wanted to do something different. And this is why I'm going to offend this film, because Friday the 13th part 8, and I remember doing 2 reviews on this, had to be the weakest, had to be the shittest. If you could find anyone, and I mean anyone, say anything good about Friday the 13th part 8, you're a dudden. You're a dudden. Because barely anyone says anything good about it on any review. In a brief amount of time, it's a rant. Now, I love Rambo for life. I love him, and he's the one that inspired me. I love OCP. He's the one that inspired me to do this channel. But even they can't say anything nice about Friday the 13th Part 8. Nobody. But for me, I love it. I don't think it's a dud film. It's definitely not a dud film, but it's not as bad as what people make it out to be. And I said it last time on my last review. Is the song as good as the one by Poison Ivy? You know, the man with the mask. No, but I still like the song. I still think it's a catchy song. So you've got the Pine Mount logo, and then you've got a theme song where it goes, "The day in the night, just like a knife on this dangerous night." I'm not going to do the rest because I'll be killing it. And I do love the scene where you got the Batman logo next to cinema, which is the idea that was a blockbuster of that day. This film being 1989, and you see it in Manhattan. You know what I mean? You see the cameras of Manhattan, you see junkies. We just saw Manhattan is what it is, a shithole. You got a couple making out, and then you got this lad teasing his girlfriend about Jason. A bit memory lane, his old fast bats of him as a lad and all that, which you've seen in most of the other ones. Long below, they put electric wire down. If you remember how it ended in number 8, where he got dragged back in the water, he gets resurrected by electric pole wire. Brings him out, kills the boyfriend, chases the girl, finds the girl after they're hiding, and then spares the poor bits. I always laugh because there was a bit of a cock up there. When he spares it, it's near where the breast is there. When you see the aftershots of her body, it's more down where the belly is. I'm thinking, oh, that's a fuck up. But yeah, it's not a bad film. You've got a girl in it, and you've got the idea she's scared of water. But it does have a bit of a backdown story. It's not your typical story where she just can't swim and she's scared of water. And you got them on a juice sip. Now, I think at the time, the outcry of this film was, it said Jason takes Manhattan, right? It actually says Jason takes Manhattan. But all the way through the film, Jason doesn't take Manhattan. He's at the way through the film, it's sort of like the Titanic meets Jason. So, the people are on the ship, Jason jumps out and he gets onto the ship. You do kind of get a Daisy Ralph character, you know, the typical old guy warning people, you know, got a death to us. And it's a bit like they did in the third one. You sort of like get a Daisy Ralph character in this, warning people what's going to happen. Long below, did you get some good deaths? I do remember originally there was a cut scene, it had to be altered because the MPA, as usual, were being wimpy out on this, where darts goes in a guy's eyeballs. Again, MPA saw it, had the wins in round, and they had the death scene on one of the characters. But I do like one of the scenes, and then there's another cock up, there's a guy fighting, right, in a boxing ring. And later on he's in a sauna, and Jason gets a hot piece of toll, whams it in his chest, but I think like it's more near there when he's whamming it, but then when you see the aftershots, the hole's more there, and I'm thinking, oh, what's happened there? So there's a few little cock-ups here and there, but still not a bad one. There are some outtakes of the film, so they definitely knew the film wasn't going to be a serious film. They had fun, they had a laugh, they had a ball. You do get one who's a doff chick, and she plays with a guitar, but it's always funny because she looks a bit like the girl who's the main character in it, and I always wondered whether she played 2 roles in it. That's something I'm always interested in. But you're never going to find any features on this because Sadly to say, it bombed. Pall Mall decided they weren't going to do any more Friday the 13th, and then a couple of years later, New Line Cinema bought the company, which is funny because it originally was going to be the last one. But I respect Friday the 13th Part 8. I respect it because it's hard to do something different. It's funny, right? But it's why I'm going to offend the film. I'm going to offend the film. Jason Goes to Hell gets shit on. Right? That's it doesn't. Jason Goes to Hell does not get shit on anymore. It used to, but it doesn't anymore. People like it. It's different. You know, it's not like the Hidden. People don't mind the one where he's in space. It's not the best, even though I think it was garbage. A lot of people don't mind it. People didn't mind Freddy versus Jason. They're different. But this one always gets a lot of poo on it. And I don't know why. I mean, because halfway through the ship, he's killing people. He gets his Chinese dude, drags a bar in the neck. Now, my only issue is, when people always moan about it, but I didn't really mind it. There's bits where he's here, there's bits where he's there. The bit before he kills that dude, the Chinese dude, and he gets a bar in the neck. He appears in different sections. I thought it made him a bit more cheapy, to be honest. You know, he kills a dude who's basically a slut, who's taking coke, kills her. I remember that scene always made me jump out of my skin, because she's listening. Next thing you know, bashes his hand for the door, and then, you know, you see the after. You don't see he get stabbed, but you see the aftershots. He kills that doff kick. He bashes his head in with a tatar. Again, you see the aftershots. So the few good kills it, but like I say, his mouth is on the sip. He's chasing the boy and the girl, and that's when you find out the secret. Because what it is, her uncle's a dick. Put it nice, he's a dick. Because what he did was, when she was a kid, and she was scared of water, and okay, I can kind of understand, he's teaching her to swim, but he says something about Jason will get you, and he pushes her in water. Now, when you're a kid and you're scared of water, and someone says, oh, if you don't go in the water, Jason's going to get you, it's going to make you more bloody scared, and you find that out. Remember rightly, her auntie got killed, and I do remember there's a good scene in it where she's about to run Jason over, and you see like a till shot, and I thought, is there something wrong with the film? But no, it's just in the film itself. I mean, you do get some sort of like junkies, but look very healthy for junkies, I may add. And they try and jolt the girl up and rape her, but then Jason, for some reason, comes out and kills one of the drug dealers and kills the other one after. But they manage to get out of dodge. And I do remember the guy who's a bit cocky. He's one of the boxers, and he's fighting Jason, and he's hitting him, and he's hitting him. And eventually he gets knackered out with bloody hands, because he's been hitting the hockey mast. Jason, and he says that line, "You're shot, motherfucker." And Jason just gets him by the head, punches him in the head, and knocks his fucking head off. Seriously, I'm not making it up. He literally knocks his head off. I do love to see where they're in a train and they get out and Jason gets electrocuted. But I also remember the scene where they're in the sewer and Jason is chasing him, and he kills that cheats off the arsehole uncle. I loved it when he drowns him in water. Then he doesn't fuck about in this. Again, he repairs here and there. But the bit where he's under the town, he's in the sewer, whether it's true or not, I don't know. But apparently at midnight, they put like acid chemicals in, which cleans all the trap, your poo, and all the other stuff that's in the sewer. Cleans it out. Now, whether that happens in real life, it was just made for the film. It's a film, so I went with it. But I do love the scene where she throws a bath of chemicals in Jason's face. Yeah, mate, I felt it would have been better. This bit I will be honest. I felt it would have been better. I would have checked the way he looked in number 7, you know, with the really angry looking face. I don't think the face was that good in number 8. But that's my only nitpick. I still don't think it's a bad one. I do get a feeling it would have been the last one, because he does get electrocuted, then he gets acid in the face, then he gets burnt by acid. You do see a similar sort what would later be used in Freddy versus Jason. You know, we see him as a kid and he's on the water. You do see a similar ending of that. I do know there was a deleted scene there where you do see a kid version of him in Jason's mouth. I kind of see why that was cut out. But this is the bit that always gets me, because in Freddy versus Jason, they made out he was scared of water. They don't like scared to me when he's swimming in water in this. But then you've got a date scene. They're walking out of the sewers. Do you think Jason's going to get him? But it's a dog. It's happy to say there's no tragedy to dogs. They do have a dog in it. The dog runs out. They all walk off. Happy ending. And I actually like this one. I didn't think it was a bad one. Is it as good as some of the other ones? No. But I don't think it was bad. They tried to do something different. It didn't rub off. Sadly to say, in 1989 it bombed. And it took them so many years until they got into the 90s. when New Line Cinema bought the rights, and that would have been Jason Goes to Hell, what originally was going to be the last one. But I don't think it was a bad one, and I remember defending it last time, so I defend it again. To me, Friday the 13th, Part 8 is not a bad one. It's not a bad one. It tried to do something different. It didn't rub off, but I don't think it's as bad as what people make it out to be. And I said that in the last one. I'm the only man who will offend the 8th Friday the 13th. The only one, because I just don't think it was that bad. It just started to do something different. It had Jane Hotter in it. There's a scene in it where he goes in the taffin, he knocks a die through a flipping mirror. Which, funny enough, the die he knocks through the mirror would later become Jason in Freddy vs. Jason. But that's a different story. But until then, that's Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. Got a shoot. So be smart, be safe, and I'll see you soon.